Don't work with another person's time. You can literally see around you people who have happy marriages. Then that means it's possible for you as well. So just rest in God, rejoice, be happy. Let your spirit marry in the fact that you have a God that really cares about you. Hi everyone, my name is Omowomi and you're welcome to this YouTube channel. I want to say a very big thank you to every one of you who recently subscribed. Thank you so much and God bless you. Today we're going to be sharing some really important things, and I plan to encourage you and provide insights on the topic you can see below. And so if you're single or you are trusting God for a life partner, I believe that this video is going to be very helpful in your journey of waiting. And by trusting God for a life partner, I don't mean that you urgently need a partner. Well, that could be the case, but it could also be that you're trusting God that in the future, when you're ready to settle down, you will be settling down with the right person and you will not be making any costly mistake in this regard. I'm going to be sharing a few things that you can do during your waiting season, and some things that you need to know about this period of waiting. So the first thing I'd like you to know is that God is the one who gives a godly spouse. So many times we hear people say things like, we have free will to just choose whoever we want to choose. Of course, we do that, and we have free will to do whatever it is that we want to do. But as Christians, it's important that for a decision as important as a life partner, it's important that you trust God for it and understand that it is only Him that knows another person. It's only Him that knows the heart of man. And the Bible also says too that we can inherit riches and wealth from our parents, but it is only God that can give a prudent wife. And I believe that this applies to the case of a husband too. If the husband is going to be seeking God to find a prudent wife, then he obviously is someone who is from God. And so I believe that this Bible verse works both ways. So we must trust God and rely on His promises in this regard, that it is only God that can give a prudent wife. The other thing I'm going to say is that you should not underestimate the power of prayer. So many times you see on social media that people will just randomly say things like, oh, I pray that God will give me this kind of life partner, or that God will give me this kind of marriage. Or people just randomly say it to God. And of course, God is hearing. But I want to encourage you to be very intentional about prayers like this. Take out time to really pray about your life partner. Take out time to really request that God will give you someone after His own heart. And if it's going to be a period of fasting and prayer, trust me, just do whatever it is that is going to strengthen your faith, to know that your future is secured in God, and that God has got this figured for you, and that everything is going to go out well. So just don't underestimate the power of prayer. In the period of praying and fasting, God is going to reveal things to you. He's going to teach you things. He's going to, help you to know so many things that you may not know about marriage. A Bible verse I'd like to share with you is Proverbs 20 verse 12, the NLT version. And it talks about how that the eyes that see and ears that hear, they are gifts from God. And so many times you may think that, oh, by listening to other people, by doing those things, you know what I'm talking about, those things that you can find on the internet, by doing those things, you will find a life partner. But the truth is, like I said before, for something as important as this, the eyes that see, ears that hear, there's also another level to this that God can give to you as a gift, for you to know, for you to just know that this is the person, for you to know that this is the wrong decision, for you to know things, for you to see things, and for you to know the things that you want to change, even about yourself, for you to even know things about yourself that you never knew before. These are gifts from the Lord. When you ask Him for these things, He is able to give them to you. Apart from that, the next thing I like to say is that, again, you will hear people say that God is not going to drop your partner on your lap. Like, He's not going to throw the person at you if you keep staying inside the house. Well, I actually don't even agree to that, because I used to be someone who well, I still am someone who likes to be home and will only go out for very important occasions or on very important occasions such as church, work, this structured life kind of. And so God was still very kind to me to give me someone that was after his own heart. And so instead of me telling you to go out, go for events, have fun and do all those things, I'm going to say that be still. Just be where God will have you be part-time. If God is requiring you to go out, go out. If he's requiring to stay indoor, whatever it is that God is asking you to do part-time, just do it. Don't be so caught up in your thought of how will I find a partner if I keep staying in this place, if I keep serving in this place, if I keep... Okay, so a typical example is people who serve behind closed doors in church. You may think that, oh, nobody's going to see me, nobody's going to find me if I'm not serving in the light where everybody can see me. Trust me, that's not how God works. If he's requiring you to serve somewhere that nobody else, where it's only even you that is serving, by all means, just serve there and trust him that he's planning your life out in a very beautiful way. Jeremiah 29 verse 11 says that God's thoughts towards us are thoughts of good and not evil, to give us an expected end. And you know that God's expected end for you is not a bad end. And so if he's requiring you to serve in a place, serve there. If he's requiring you to stay in a place, stay there. Don't be so overwhelmed such that every time you are stepping out of the house, the first thought that is coming to your mind is, oh, today is the day I may see someone in this event, this person is going to ask me out, all those kind of things. You're kind of building up, I don't want to say a stumbling block, but you're just putting your hopes up on, you're just putting yourself under pressure. That's what I'm going to say. So avoid pressure. Just do what God will have you do. Be happy. Be genuinely happy for people who you hear are getting married, are in relationships, and even in godly relationships. So be happy for them. Celebrate them. If there's any way you can help them, bless them, and pray for them. And one thing I'm going to say is don't use another person's... I'm trying to use Yoruba to bring Yoruba into this now. Don't work with another person's time. So while I was single, before I got married, I already had friends who had given birth and they were already giving birth to second child. They already gave birth to, they were already doing stuff. They were doing great stuff. And one thing I tried not to do as much as possible was not to feel like I was behind, because we're not working on the same pace. We don't have the same pace. We don't have the same assignments in life. If God is asking me to be here at this time and is asking another person to be there at another time, I cannot leave my own post and then be watching another person, another person's post. So just focus on where you are. Be happy for people who are moving forward, who are getting married, because getting married is an achievement, is a blessing. And so, or even getting married right is an achievement. So be happy for them, celebrate them, knowing that it is part of God's will for your life too. And yeah, apart from all these things I've said, learning, relearning, unlearning too about marriage is very important in your single year. Learn things about marriage. Look at people who are married, learn from them. Listen to people who talk about marriage like you're listening now. Listen to people who have good hope, who have good faith in marriage. Don't listen to people who keep spoiling marriage, who keep saying things about marriage that does not glorify God. Because when you keep listening to people who say these bad things, you're putting little drops of water of wrong things, and then they'll grow into oceans of really wrong things in your mind. And then you begin to doubt if you can get into a good marriage, in fact. So listen to the right people, learn new things, unlearn the things that may be wrong. Some of us may have grown from dysfunctional homes. Some people may have grown from beautiful homes. So learn things about the beautiful homes that you've come from, and then make a decision in your mind that you're going to apply these things when it's time for you to settle down. And then if you've come from a dysfunctional home, make a decision in your heart, pray to God to help you that these things will not repeat themselves. Being angry, being spiteful about your parents, about your background, about your environment, we will not change anything. What is going to change things is you being intentional, you handing over your fears to God and asking him to change things, to, make your marriage the one that is after his own heart, that he will make your home a place that is very safe for him to dwell in and to use for his own works. So one thing I was going to say that just ran out of my head is this: yes, attend counseling. While Israel and I were dating, my husband's name is Israel. While Israel and I were dating or courting, while we were courting for marriage purpose, yes, we used to go to a class organized by Mr. Moses and Sister Anne, and we had people who were not in relationships attending these programs. The interesting thing about this program is that we had people who were not in relationships attending this counseling session. The good thing about it is that when they eventually get into a relationship, they now continue with their partner in the counseling relationship. And this kind of, I believe that attending counseling early into your relationship, or even before you start a relationship, shortens the time you spend doing things that are not important, courting, not courting, but courting for a long time, exactly. Because from the beginning, you already know that this is the goal, and there's no point going round and round and round and, doing unnecessary things. So, attend counseling. If you need resources on counseling, counseling sessions you can attend, I can provide them. You can just check the description box below. You have our email address or IG account where you can send a DM to. So, yeah, those are the things you can do. Many times we may have consciously or unconsciously built a stronghold in our minds about the kind of person we want to get married to, or the kind of person we see ourselves settling down with during this period of singleness. And by singleness, I mean if you are not married. During this period of singleness, what you can do is to really review your reason or the standards that you have set as criteria for a person to be eligible to be your partner. Why have I said this person must be this? Why have I chosen this as my standards? Why do I have this as my mind? Why do I feel, why do I just withdraw once I see a kind of man coming towards me? So ask yourself questions. And then if you find that you've unconsciously built a stronghold, or you've unconsciously built an imagination that is against the will of God, take it back to Him. The Bible says that the weapon of our warfare are not carnal, but they are mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down every high thing, every imagination and high thing that exalts themselves or itself against the knowledge of God. So this is the time to cast down everything that is exalting itself against the knowledge of God. This is time to rewrite stories, it's just a beautiful thing to have moved past childhood to adulthood, of being responsible for your decisions, where you cannot blame anybody for the decisions you make. So at this point where you know that whatever decision you make, you're going to face the consequence, you may as well make the decision very right and make it well with God. And if you don't even know what to do, that's the good thing about this, our God. If you don't know what to do, ask Him, ask for help. He's going to help you. Ask Him for direction, ask Him for revelation. And one thing I'm going to say is that if you're already in a relationship, and before you started the relationship, the reason you went into that relationship wasn't just for marriage, it was because you just liked the person, and then you guys wanted to see how things would go. I'll advise you that right now it's good that you start praying about that relationship and asking God to direct you on what He wants you to do. Be open to the answer He's going to give you, be open to the revelations that He's going to make too. So revelations can be as simple as finding something on your partner's phone, can be as hearing something they say to you, or seeing how they react when they're angry, or so many things. And ask God what He wants you to do with the revelation. Sometimes He just wants both of you to work on what is wrong. Sometimes He wants you to step out. But really ask God. And that's the good thing. If you're single now, like if you're not in any relationship, that's the good thing about always asking God questions before you make any decision. If you're going to step into a relationship with anybody, if you are going to be in a relationship with anybody, don't go into a relationship because you want to see how things go. Go into the relationship knowing that this is the person that I am going to get married to. Let the purpose be marriage. Because how many people do you want to court to know if you want to get married? The right way to do it is to know that this is the person I want to get married to, and then go into the relationship with the person, and not the other way, not going into the relationship to know if I want to get married, because you're just going to be living life on probability in that case. It's a different thing if you went into the relationship for marriage purpose and things did not go right along the way. Yeah, so I hope that this has really been helpful. I'm just going to share like two more things or even one more before I just end this one. Um, so okay, I'm going to make it just one more. And the final thing is rest in God. Rest, just rest, be at peace, be a cheerful person, be happy. I've heard many times when people say that I wasn't even searching when I found the person that I really loved. I wasn't even worried, and then they found me. So rest in God, knowing that God's thoughts towards you are thoughts of good and not evil, and that God really does love you, and so He has the best in mind for you. His plan for you are beautiful plans, and if God can do it for other people, if you can see, you can literally see around you people who have happy marriages, then that means it's possible for you as well. So just rest in God, rejoice, be happy. Let your spirit marry in the fact that you have a God that really cares about you. You know, this the life of a Christian is such a beautiful life. It is such a beautiful life. And I'm not saying it is beautiful because it is void of challenges, but it is beautiful because even though we don't know the future, we know who holds the future. And so we can rest in Him. We can rest in Him through the storms, even through rejoicing, even through whatever it is that you're passing through or that you're going through, you can always rest on God, because you know that He is powerful. He's your creator. He sees the future. He holds it. He can change things. He can change lives. And you can talk to Him because, like we said in our last video, God said that even while we were enemies with Him, Christ died for us so that our friendship with Him can be restored. And so God sees us as friends, even though He's our Father, He sees us as friends. And so if God is our friend, we can go to Him boldly so that we can obtain mercy, so that we can obtain His goodness, and so we can obtain everything that He has in store for us. I hope that this video encouraged you or is encouraging you to trust in God and just do the right things part time as He brings to your notice. I'll see you in our next video. God bless you, and please do well to share this video with someone that you think needs it. Thank you so much, guys, for subscribing. Thank you, our new family members. God bless you, and bye bye.